Power Talk, brought to you by ABB. Power and productivity for a better world.
How important do you see this energy savings drive here in Africa's biggest economy?
Chris, it's probably the most important thing on the table at the moment. Interesting, mining consumes 18% of the power sold. Households also consume 18%. So household savings can do a huge thing to get us through. We're going to be power constrained until the new power stations are online. And it won't end with the first set of the first power station. It will probably be in about 2016, 2017 when the first big power station runs fully. So it is an extremely important time for us.
James, just to bring you in here, I mean, what do you think about these? Every time you turn around, there's a energy saving campaign. And the other day, a newspaper seller gave me a pair of yellow laces and asked what it was. And they said, no, this is part of energy saving. And I thought, I don't know how on earth these are going to save energy. But what do you think about all these campaigns? Think they're going anywhere?
They're trying to get the message out there. Frankly, I don't know. I think they've got a mixed bag of success. You heard the minister saying they're looking for 10% savings. Which is about, let's say, 4,000 megawatts, and they've, as you saw on the insert, they've managed about 2,300 odd megawatts at a time when the system is as constrained as it'll probably be. And I mean, this is a time we really need to save, and they only managed to get half of the target, 10%. So I think there's a lot of good being done in trying to get the message out there, but it's not totally sinking in enough. That's just my view. I don't know what more we can do, whether we should start implying penalties, but we're not saving as much as we should.
How difficult is it for the mines, Dick? I mean, just to go back a step here, the mines were forced to make savings. There were no questions or nice please, pretty please asked. In 2008, there were massive blackouts. The mines were closed down for days for the first time for nearly 100 years. And they said, okay, you have 90% of your power. How difficult is it in 2011, saving power?
Chris, it's becoming increasingly difficult. Just remember that in the 2 years preceding 2008, the mines had already saved about almost 200 megawatt, and that was the commitment in terms of the Energy Efficiency Accord. In 2008, after we were compelled to save a great deal for a few days, the mines continued their saving programs. And the total savings by the end of 2009 were probably in the region of 400 megawatt. But those were the easy things. Replacing motors as they become due, changing things like blade settings on fans, changing lights underground in the mines. Now it's becoming difficult, and the things that you can do now are the things that cost money. You now require capital investment. Now you have to weigh up the energy savings against the return.
I mean, that's the issue, isn't it, in this whole thing, James, surely, that it's actually expensive for a lot of companies to make these savings. And it's going to cost a lot of money at a time when people are looking at costs and profits are being squeezed.
No, absolutely. And the mine's totally getting the wrong end of the stick the whole time. 2008, just when commodities prices are booming, they're told to cut. Because it's the quickest to cut 10 mines and save 400 odd megawatt. Rather than cutting 2 million houses and saving maybe 200 megawatt. So I think the real problem Eskom has at the moment is getting from 2,300 megawatt saving to 4,000, because like Dick says, all the easy stuff has been done. The CFLs, 40 million CFLs have been exchanged. Solar geysers are being done as quickly as possible. The mines have done their part. Big industry has done their part. The smelters in Kruger, for instance, was canned. And now the economy is picking up slowly again. So you've got that added challenge that there's an increased demand for power, but there's no easy solution anymore. So now we have to start saying it's going to cost us X amount. It's going to be to save X amount. And should we then make the new investment or not? So I don't know. It's an interesting conundrum.
Okay, just hold it there a second. Let's just hear a little bit more from the policymaker and the Minister for Energy here in South Africa, Dick Peters.
One of the interventions that we have started is solar water heating. Solar water heating is replacing hot water heating from electricity. Those of us who have installed solar water geysers would know that our bills have gone down almost 50%. And that 50% saving of electricity can be deployed elsewhere. If my house is a three-phased meter system, it means 50% saving is another house that can be built, that can be supplied. But also that energy that is saved by the municipality from solar water heating can be deployed for other investments that they might have delayed because of not having bulk supply. The power is in your hands. When you switch on, switch off.
So there you are. I know this is a million miles away from mines and the big users, but I mean, it sounds like a good idea. Everybody should get a solar heater, etc., etc. But I mean, a lot of people still complain. They say that it's too expensive. They say that it's not reliable. I mean, what do you think, Dick? I mean, do you think this is the future, this sort of thing?
Chris, I believe that, firstly, no new house plan should be approved if it does not include solar water heating. And I'm not talking about the backyard things, the proper approved ones. There should also be a greater emphasis on retrofitting existing households. And I think that the subsidy scheme can be extended, maybe enlarged, to help people do this.
James, do you think this is a drop in the ocean, or what?
No, I think Dick's sentiment is totally correct, and we need to get these solar geysers online. But I think the one calculation done last year was that to get the 1 million solar heaters that Eskom was aiming, it was a target that they had, they would need about 5,000 extra plumbers to go and install these things. So it does a fat lot of good to have to not have the skills to actually go and install these geysers. So I don't know. It seems as if we've got a lot of fantastic ideas, but we don't have a real way of implementing them and saying, look, 1 million solar heaters, but okay, let's start by training X amount of people to install them. Don't necessarily need to be a plumber, but he just needs to know how to install this thing, and then maybe we can actually get some headway. I don't know.
Gentlemen, as we heard Eskom saying earlier, they thought the commercial sector was lagging behind in the savings front. Now, if you want to fix your eyes on the monitor there, we took our cameras out on a very cold winter's night in the CBD at Sandton here, and if you can have a look there at the pictures, it's quite interesting because some places there, like that particular office, blazing away, but other offices, this is quite late, it's about 7:30 at night, and as you can see, there's still quite a lot of lights on.
Economy is growing, people are working late, Chris.
Maybe so, but some places are like half and half, even places like hotels, which were quite interesting, I thought, because I mean, they, that they could be forgiven for having lights on, but I don't know, James, what do you think? What you've seen there? Encouraged?
Well, we got to be brutally honest and say, look, this is Sandton, I assume, which is kind of the business centre of the country. So there's a little leeway that has to be given. But I totally agree. Driving around Joburg, Pretoria, some of the big cities, Cape Town, this is a kind of a regular occurrence. You see big buildings, lights flashing. One that's, in my opinion, quite a big sinner is SABC. Go look at that big building in Auckland Park. 20, 30 floors, 40 floors of blazing lights. I work close in the area, so it's something I notice.
So savings start at home, Dick. I mean, what about the Chamber of Mines? I mean, what have you guys done to try and save?
Well, in the Chamber of Mines, there's no more hot water. In the evenings, around about 7 o'clock, the security guards go around and switch off all lights. If some poor soul is still working, he's got to switch off his own light, and the lights stay off until 6 o'clock in the morning, when the lights in the parking basement are switched on. And well, as people come in, they switch on their own lights in their offices.
And James, just one quick thing, should add in, the producer said they went by Megawatt Park, Eskom's headquarters, and the lights were blazing.
I knew you were going to bring this up. Speaking to the producer recently, I actually decided to go by Eskom myself last night, actually. It was 9:30 in the evening, Thursday evening, freezing cold, and I couldn't get into the front gate, which they have to be complimented on, but from what I could see, and I actually took a photograph, and I'm going to show it to Mr. Damas the next time I see him. I think he's going to be a little mad at me. But there were more lights blazing. I mean, at least 2 floors were fully alight. And, it's you want to set an example. That's not the way you do it.